And welcome everybody to This Is Difficult, an amazing podcast brought to you from around the world, from different friends, and collecting ideas and all these fun thoughts. We talk about video games and video game related things and articles and news and such here. And we all played a bunch of video games this week, so that's how we kick it off. Paul, I'm going to let you volley this ball. Boop. Oh, here comes a spike. I'm never good at sports or references.
I'm never played Mega Man games. What are you talking about?
It was like a volleyball.
That kind of
I
spike.
introduce us. Yeah,
Not the kind of
it's been
spike
a
that
while.
kills you.
So I haven't been here in 3 weeks, so I forgot to actually introduce any of us. So I am your co-host, Josh, aka Lord Yeshua. We were on Paul Ryugami-san's channel on Twitch, and we got Zach, another letdown. Fresh. You've been here for like a month now, so you're not even like a new host anymore. He's just one of the team. Oh, la la la. And then so they picked up the slack while I was gone, but I'm back now. Woohoo! With my new digs, and we're gonna do stuff. Kicking it off
Way to
Paul,
take the baseball to the net and score a touchdown.
Yeah,
Super proud of you.
Yes. Hole in one.
Yeah, hole in one. Well done. Yeah, so let's hear what you guys have been playing.
Yes.
Josh, why don't you kick us off? You've been gone.
I've been gone. So I've been moving, so I didn't really get a lot of time to play too many games in the beginning. So it was a little bit of Hyrule Warriors. I still haven't beaten it story-wise. And then a little bit of Blue Fire, a good amount of Blue Fire, I would say. I will say, just right off the bat, that game has some technical issues that kind of bug me. There were a lot of crashes and it's kind of like weird control issues. But it's a really good game. I think they patched the shit out of it since I last played it because I have been playing Mario 3D World Bloop and Bowser's Fury combo, which I'm going to review today, and we all want to talk about it. I know, really bad. But this has literally been consuming my free time when I'm like done doing anything. I just want to play this game because it has been blowing me away. Super fucking fun, and we'll talk about that more later, of course. Who else played games?
Zach, what'd you play, homie?
Hey, Jade.
I played a couple things. So we weren't 100% sold on the way Parsec was working with Gears Tactics, so I called an audible and played Batman Arkham City on stream this week. Oh my god, that game is glorious. It's everything perfect about the Arkham franchise. It feels like coming home after a long slog down like on a ski mountain or something. I don't know. It feels good to be back, and looking forward to playing some more of that this week. Also, I played through most of Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I kind of burned out a little bit on the final boss, just because I'd been playing it all day, almost all day straight, and I was like, I don't have the mental capacity to handle this right now, and I just put it down for a little while. And I intended to pick it up later in the week, and then 30XX came out, and now I can't stop playing that. That is my Super Mario Brothers 3D, because I'm a giant Mega Man dork. And coming this Wednesday night on my channel, Adam and I are going to stream as much of it as we possibly can and probably get our butts kicked a lot.
If it's anything like the first one, 20XX, that game's fucking hard.
It's really tough.
Really, really hard, but it's so cool.
Yeah,
it's procedurally generated Mega Man, and it's so good.
It's roguelike Mega Man, and I did have one guy in my chat like go pick up 20XX while we were playing tabletop games the other day, and he's like, I don't know why you thought this was so hard. I got to level 8, blah blah blah, really quickly. And I'm like, bully for you, man. Like, that's fine. I maybe I'm just bad at it. That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm still enjoying the crap out of it. It's so beautiful.
Yeah. What, like, they totally redid the art style. Is it more like the Mega Man Zero games, or?
Yeah. Axel, the red protagonist, is basically just Zero. And obviously, I mean, based on our relative interests on the stream on Wednesday, I can pretty much expect that Adam will be playing as Nina, who is basically X, and I will be playing as Axel, who is basically Zero.
Nice. That'd be my move too. Definitely a Zero guy. He's always been my
Zero's
favorite.
pretty awesome. Yeah, if I had to pick.
Yeah. Very cool. Anything else,
cool.
Zachary?
I mean, other than the few minutes of tactics that I played trying to get Parsec to work, no, that's pretty much about it.
Right
but
on.
we will make it work. I got to reach out to Colin and see if I can get him to help me out.
Beg him to help. He usually knows what to do.
I have been playing I've been continuing my playthrough of Neo 2, and I just love that game more and more and more every time I play it. It's just fucking great. If you're a Souls-like fan, play the Neo games. They're really good. I'm not going to exhaust you guys with that because I've talked a lot about it, and we've got a review coming down the pipes on that.
Oh shit, it's in the pipeline. One in the chamber.
But I've been playing a lot of that. Today, I played, and I've been playing it on and off very slowly, but kind of inspired from some of the news this week. I've been playing a little more Skyward Sword. I finished the Earth Temple today, and got to the like world. I forget what it's called, but it got the time warp stones and shit.
Temple of Time.
No, maybe, I don't know. I mean, maybe the Temple of Time's there. I just landed there. So I don't know what it's called. But it's cool.
Game is
It's
amazing,
like
yeah.
a desert area, but like when you hop on the
fact, they say the Ocarina of Time was made out of one of those stones. It's like the hidden lore. Fan lore, potentially.
Interesting.
We don't know where this lore came from.
Oh,
But they
okay.
say,
So
like,
it's like a hypothesis.
But the gossip stones in the Ocarina of Time are potentially made out of these stones. And so they
Oh,
have
those time
properties.
stones. That
Yeah,
makes
why
sense.
not? Come on, let it happen.
They kind of look like them. They look very
There's a
similar.
lot of sweet theories behind Skyward Sword that I like researched into during my last playthrough.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'll get into it later when you beat
Well,
it. I don't want to spoil anything.
it's the first game in the timeline, right?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
So,
they did a lot of setting up very like quietly, so you have to really pay attention.
yeah. Well, I really like it. Despite people complain about that game a lot with the controls.
Yeah.
I don't think they're that bad. But I'm excited. We'll talk more about it later. And I'm just enjoying it. So, and taking my time, but I do want to finish it soon.
Downtown.
And then I also have been playing.
Look at this DMCA struck, Josh. Did you guys hear about that? Like, I know I'm going off on a tangent here, but like, did you guys hear about Metallica getting DMCA struck for their own music?
No way.
They played as part of BlizzCon.
Oh,
and they got replaced by smooth jazz.
Yeah, well, they didn't. No, so that's a little bit erroneous what you said there. They didn't get DMCA struck, but the official Blizzard channel played different music over their music.
Blizzard decision?
Yes, they played it over the live music as to not get DMCA'd on the stream. Fucking bananas. And then anyway, the last game that I have been playing is Mario 3D World Bowser's Fury, and I'm in love with that game as well. It is good. Mario 3 sequel that we never got.
Thank you, dude.
Like it's Mario 3 in 3D, and it's so fucking fun.
I have quite a bit to say about it. Yeah,
I'm so excited.
I can't wait to hear about it.
It is exceptional. Spoiler alert. They're coming.
Do you want to jump into your review now?
Let's jump into it. That's a perfect segue into my review, in which I will be talking thoroughly Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, which I 100%ed on Colin's profile, 4Gs. And we're now up to like World 7, I think, or 8, actually. We just got to 100% so far on my profile. And I 100%ed Bowser's Fury earlier today, which is, just to clear it up, a side game. So to tell you guys what everything is, this first part is going to be a remake. So it was on the Wii U originally, and it was a co-op up to 4 people, couch co-op. You could be Toad, Peach, whatever, and everyone has different stats, basically. Okay, so Mario, he's, in my opinion, the way the game is supposed to be played. Then you got Luigi, jumps the best, but is slower. Peach is easy mode. She just floats. Toad is super fast, and spoiler alert, you do unlock Rosalina after you beat the game, and she has an attack that also acts as a second jump. So she is amazing. She has like her long jump is extraordinary, and she has like an auto kill. Yeah.
Luigi's also really slidey, I noticed.
Luigi's really slidey. Mario is, in my opinion, how the game is supposed to be played. Absolutely. Yeah, Mario is just like perfect stats.
Okay. So when we do This Is Difficult versus Mario World, I got dibs on Peach because I suck at games.
She's easy. Yeah. That's what me and Colin always use to beat the game, because of the floatiness.
Yeah. I don't mind being Luigi. I kind of like Luigi.
Mario all
Always good.
day. But okay, so this is a port from the Wii U initially, and so the thing that they did add to the original game, which in my opinion is already a perfect Mario game, and I'll get into that in a second, but they did add online cooperative capabilities, so you can join a server room. And now, like, say, so me and Colin were playing. He basically opened his room, and I went in, and you guys can come in and whatever and be whichever character on his file. So it is on whoever is natively hosting its file only. So yeah. Aside from that, let's see what else. The
Quick
game is
question.
phenomenal.
I got a quick
Yeah,
question. And the
bring it.
only reason I bring this up is because we tried to do our Scott Pilgrim stream and the network connectivity was a fucking disaster.
Oh, it was bad.
So,
On the Switch.
yeah, on the
Yeah.
Switch. And so I'm curious about
Yes.
how well the network connectivity works. If you guys had any
Yeah.
like drops or any kind of
We did have only once, so we played through the entire game, and the only time we had a drop was on Champions Road, which is the ultimate super secret mega hard level, which we did eventually beat. But there was a few drops one time, just like lagginess through the jumps, which have to be precise in this level, so otherwise we might not have even noticed it. But we restarted his router just because mine was hooked up to a bunch of other shit, and then he was like, okay, it's fine, and it was fine then. So a little bit of disturbance, reset of one router, and then we were perfect again. All like, there were no drops, like there were no like, oh, you got booted from this room. Not at all, none of that
okay,
at all.
cool.
Yeah, it was like perfectly smooth. Also, two people per console can do local, so you and a buddy can like go online with two other people or two separate people, for example. So
That's really cool.
it's really cool. I will say I already loved this game, and I did play it initially couch co-op with Colin back in the day when it came out, and I think 2014 or 13. It's hard. I don't know. I'm gonna need a fact check there on the Wii U, but this game is amazing online. It's like so much better online. I can't even explain. And then what else? Okay, developed by Nintendo. It was released on the 12th. It's played on the Switch, only available on the Switch. I don't know if it says about how much it costs, but it is. I got it for $50 plus tax at Walmart, actually. So I was like, oh shit,
Nice.
is that good? Yeah. So I feel like that was pretty good. So
Yeah, I paid the full 60 just for the digital.
that's the thing. I wasn't sure, but it felt cheap to me. I was like, it's a remake, so maybe it's just cheaper. But maybe this Walmart just had it for cheaper, and I was like, fuck it, I'm not
I
going to
think
GameStop.
Walmart does do deals on new games
Yeah.
like that. Amazon used to have those deals, and I think only Walmart does those now.
That's amazing. Walmart's not that bad. But anyway, so $50, $60, depending on where you're getting it. Absolutely, in my opinion, worth the price tag. Super Mario 3D World is basically, like Paul said, it's a three-dimensional, two-dimensional Mario game, basically replacing Mario 3 or adding to it. So like it could even be like the final ultimate Super Mario World that never came out. The controls, in my opinion, were already really good, although it's not like super fast movements like Sunshine. It is really smooth movements like 64. And you don't have the full array, but you actually do get the dive jump from Super Mario Odyssey in this remake. So the dive jump, where you could basically, like, you're doing a wall jump and then you immediately turn around and can dive onto the ledge when you would normally like not be able to get back, or any number of things. But the dive basically was added back to this from Odyssey. And so it's in Bowser's Fury, but they
I know
actually
you could do that with the. Oh, did they? Because I noticed you
Yeah,
can do that with a
amazing.
cat, but I didn't think you could do that with just your regular.
You can do it. So
Dude.
basically, it's like you crouch and roll, but now you can do it in midair.
Oh,
I don't know
cool.
how to explain it. Yeah.
Nice.
They added that, so that's really nice. And then what else? It's amazing. The game is amazing. What did I like about the game? I want to like kind of get into Bowser's Fury a lot too. So 3D World is one of the better like 3D platforming games, period. Like, it's so fucking good. In the beginning, you're like, oh, it's a kiddie Mario game. And then by World 3 or 4, you're like, okay, they really put
It
a lot
gets
of
hard.
effort. Yeah, they put a lot of effort into the level design, and especially shows in the later levels and in the secret levels, and especially Champions Road and other ones. It just shows. Music is incredible. The multiplayer is some of the best ever. Online multiplayer, I can't believe it. Nintendo finally did this shit. To me, they can do it with any Mario game now. I think I would love to see that. At least like level-based Mario games, or like, I don't know. There's a way to do it. Clearly, they showed it. Obviously, the original shell of the game was multiplayer, so it's a little easier for them. But I think it's possible to do it again with a bigger game.
I'm a little curious why they didn't make Bowser's Fury online multi. Like,
I'll mention what I okay. So I'll just say what I think is because me and Colin decided the level design factor makes for like a clean experience with multiplayer, but being like all over the place, you're basically your only option is to make everyone have their own screen, and then you
Mm,
kind of just like beat the same file together, and it's like kind of like
Oh,
inconsequential at that point. To
mm,
me, it is a much better like it felt like a really good solo experience, like almost
it's
like a Zelda
really
game.
fun.
It's literally like Zelda like meets Mario 64 with a ton of new Mario
nice.
aspects too.
Dude,
It's
and
so
those Bowser battles are so fun.
so
The
epic. Up
giant
until
Bowser
the very
battles.
last one, when you 100% the game, you get a super amazing, intense Bowser battle, and it's like really fucking awesome. And then what was I gonna say? Yeah, pretty much 3D World, everything. Amazing. Yeah, buy it. It's already worth the price with Super Mario 3D World, in my opinion. It's super fucking good. Now let's talk about also music, art, everything is very Mario, exactly what you would expect.
It's what
Mhm.
you'd expect. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing extraordinary, but Bowser's Fury. Now let's talk about it. We already got a worthwhile game on this price tag here, and now we get Bowser's Fury. What the fuck is that? It's literally its own open world Mario game, and in my opinion, it basically adds like Breath of the Wild or Wind Waker factor to Super Mario like universe, and it doesn't just hit like 64, Galaxy Odyssey, whatever. Although it does feel like a really tight version of Odyssey, actually. Like the controls feel so good. It feels like one of
Nice.
the best ways Mario has ever been handled. But they add this to this massive world where Colin basically perfectly said it to me. He was like, the open world is the hub world now. So they used to have a hub world, basically, like Delfino
Mhm.
Plaza or the castle, but now the open world is that hub world. And it really
Mhm.
adds just this massive open world vibe. You have this huge ocean basically where islands are everywhere, so there's no like fall damage or anything like falling off the map or anything unless you touch lava. So that's really nice. Plessy literally is like Epona, like it takes you all over the ocean when you unlock her in the beginning. It's like
Oh,
they
that
yeah, the
fucking
dinosaur.
seahorse
And
thing? Yeah.
anywhere you go, she'll appear.
Oh,
Anywhere you go
nice.
in the ocean, she'll just be like, "Oh, did you need me?" And you could just like pop up. It's yeah, pop right on her and just like sail anywhere you want. It's amazing. The Bowser Fury shit. It like basically, if you don't know, Bowser will attack you every. It feels like 5 to 10 minutes, and every time you like do something story wise, quote unquote, because there's not much story, but like achieve a new area, he'll kind of attack you, and then you use the shines, the cat shines, to scare him away, and you fill up these lighthouses with light until he can no longer like attack that area basically. But honestly, he attacks you even until the last star, and then like the very end of the game it gets like really intense because he won't leave you the fuck alone until you're like getting this last star. And yeah, it's so good. The game has 100 stars in it. Oops, spoiler alert. And so it's not like the crazy longest, but I think this alone would probably be like a $40 price tag as far as like
Wow.
quality of game. I think I put 6 hours into it to 100% it, give or take, which is short for a Mario game, but like quality like shines
But
and nothing
for
that
an
I thought,
add-on to an
for an
already
add-on.
awesome Mario
Yeah,
game, it's
Mhm.
freaking fantastic. Yeah.
completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I have one gripe about the game, like literally one gripe, and that is that you can't put the camera right behind Mario, or at least I don't know where the button is for that. So I'm
Okay.
constantly using my other hand or even like doing weird stretches to make the camera turn. And because you literally can only turn it with the C stick. And that I think is kind of a detriment they didn't think about.
So you don't play dual stick anyway? Like you're not always having your thumb on the right stick anyway to control the camera?
Well, that's the thing in 3D World, which it's using the 3D World mechanics, right? So like
Yeah, okay, yeah, fair.
In 64 and Sunshine and that and whatnot, you can just press R and the camera will go right behind you.
Right behind you.
Sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
But in
Locks itself.
3D World, it's fixed, so you can only like shift the camera around the world, so there's no real behind the head. And
Mhm.
this kind of takes these mechanics and puts it behind the head, and I feel like they didn't quite nail exactly
Mm,
like
yeah.
how that would feel for some reason. And sometimes even the camera's like locked when you're on a large flat surface area, like home base type area, and then it won't let you like lift the camera just because it wants you to have this like perspective, which I'm like, okay, that's interesting. It's still kind of doing the 3D world vibe where it like locks your perspective in,
Yeah.
even though it is fully like open world.
So I
It
heard a
is so
rumor,
so
and I
crazy
don't know
good.
if this is true, but I don't believe it actually is because, and the reason is because it's in the 3D World engine, right? But
Okay.
someone, I was in a stream recently, and they were saying that Bowser's Fury was originally supposed to be an expansion for Mario Odyssey, but it's not. it's not in the Odyssey engine. It's very clearly built in the
Yeah,
3D
it's
World engine.
definitely built in the 3D, but I will say some of the ideas may be like literally pieces of levels from an Odyssey expansion or something
Yeah,
like that.
I'm wondering if that's just like a narrative thing,
Yeah.
like a writing
Mm,
thing.
I will
interesting.
say some of the graphics I think are like Odyssey quality. So I don't know if this was like maybe they tuned everything up to its standards. I don't know if it's the same engine, but maybe they replicated a lot of its qualities. But like a lot of the music is like some of the best ever in a Mario game. And I'm just thinking like this seems like some really new, like awesome stuff that they might have been saving for something secret. Yeah, and literally, if you go through it, it's like this world of islands, like Wind Waker, and each island is like its own new world. Like it could have easily been like lost game pieces that they were like, let's give them something like let's just put all of our ideas that we haven't used yet into this little like playground for them, and just like whatever it, which is literally what it is. It's like 100 like fucking like mini things in Mario universe. It's crazy. It's also varied and weird. It's really good though because of that. I feel like this is the direction Mario should be going. I feel like
Yeah.
they think they hit it with Breath of the Wild with that giant open world. Nothing is like no holds bounds or whatever. But I think they really hit it this time by using that same type of mechanism on a Mario game where it was
Mhm.
like level to level. And as soon as we lost the hub world, I was really sad. In Galaxy 1, you have the Sky Castle or whatever.
Yeah.
And in Odyssey, I can't even talk. In Galaxy 2, you're just a Mario head and you go on the like level track. And I'm like, oh, I
Right.
don't have hub worlds anymore. And then Odyssey, you don't have hub world either because you're like in
It's
the
just
head.
linear. Yeah.
It's linear. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I really like the hub world. This game is awesome because you have an amazing just world. There's no like going to home base or anything like that. Like you get a shine, you just keep going. There's no like world. There's no hub world because it's all just part of the hub world. So I think that's an amazing design. It lets there be like more meaning to like the little lameness. Like if you're just running around stomping on Goombas, like it really feels like back in the day with 64. Just because like the whole world is so sewn together, you're like maybe it all matters. Like maybe it's all like neat to explore instead of like in a 2D Mario, we're just kind of stomping through it and none of it really is consequential. So I don't know. I feel like what they did here is like revolutionary to the Mario franchise. They finally hit a vein that was like needed. Art was amazing, music was amazing, sound design is flawless. It took me 6 hours or so, maybe longer, maybe shorter, to 100% it completely. So
That's very quick.
I would say that's pretty quick, and I wasn't like grinding it out at all. So I was just kind of like, so I would say that's the other thing. The difficulty on this, is good. Like you get a good challenge. Some of these took me, I think, like the most was like 5 tries on a shine, but some of them were like, okay, this is pretty cool. Like ideas that they obviously haven't utilized before. So I'm pretty impressed. Like very interesting Mario platforming ideas, and that's really cool. I always love seeing new platforming. But it's not overly difficult. Although some parts you're like, holy shit, I can't believe I just beat that. But it just feels like anyone could do it. So I wouldn't be, mad about saying it's actually a game that like children could beat. But
Yeah.
it's definitely also enjoyable for a guy like me. But that's why I'm beating it in 6 hours instead of like 15 hours. Yeah.
Right. When it came out, so my sister just bought her family a Switch, and she was asking me what games to get. I'm like, get Super Mario 3D World, Bowser's Fury, because I will play it with you.
Yeah.
And we will all have a great time.
You'll have the great time. Me and Colin were just commenting just on 3D World alone, like the best co-op experience on the Switch so far. Like this is what we've been replicating with emulators and whatnot, and like all the Super Mario 64 online mods and whatnot.
Yeah.
And now it's finally like Nintendo made one for us. It's so fucking good. It's the first time Nintendo has made an online Mario aside from Mario Kart. So, or whatever, Mario
Smash
Sports,
Bros,
Super Smash. Yeah. Like an actual Mario game. I think this is the first one where you don't have to be on the couch next to someone. So
That's
it's pretty
so good.
insane.
That's
and yeah,
amazing.
so like we were saying with Bowser's Fury being co-op, I think it is a better one-player experience, although it would be cool to have multiplayer. It really wouldn't work in split screen. So we were basically saying before the podcast, it would have to be like, you're just in my file. We can run around each other and throw each other around and shit, but like we can split up and go get, shrines and whatnot. And I don't know, maybe it kind of cheapens the experience is what it is. Because I felt like it was a really solid one-player experience as well.
I wonder so I was so impressed with the design and difficulty curve of Odyssey being very like approachable to kind of anybody. And I really would love to see them sort of balance that out between something like an old school difficult Mario World, for example, which is not like I've played it so many times at this point that I know it inside and out. I can beat it in a sitting, but like bringing something like that sort of halfway in between that difficulty and an Odyssey level difficulty.
Yeah.
So it sounds to me like that's kind of what they've gone for with this is like more approachable than Super Mario World, but less approachable than Mario Odyssey, which is kind of exactly I think where Mario needs to be right now.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree. It needs to be like a nice curve where it feels like you're trying hard, but it doesn't feel like anything's unattainable. Where like some of the old ones, arguably, you're like, what the fuck? Like
Right.
some of, especially
think
the
about the
NES
end
ones.
of Mario 3.
God.
Like,
Yeah.
oh my god, that ending.
And some of the secrets, it's just like, what the fuck? Like, how do you get these things and how do you figure this out? So maybe that's a graphical enhancement. Just being able to see all these things from every angle. You're like, okay, well, I can just like see every aspect of it because it's in a 3D plane.
That's
so
one thing I noticed
impossible to figure
about
out.
just the base 3D World game is that there's some secrets that you definitely have to like. I don't change my view very often in 3D
Me
World
neither.
because I don't feel like it's necessarily intended to have a shifting view because it's supposed to play like the older Mario games, but there certainly are secrets that you are going to miss if you're not shifting your view sometimes. You know?
No, absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
I do kind of think that was a nice touch because it, kind of makes you have to be a little more cerebral when you're playing it instead of just like crushing through a level. But
which tends to be the way that I approach it. Is just like get to the end, get to the end fast. But I think that'll be an interesting thing to experiment with when we're doing it together. Is Josh, you've now seen all of it. Paul, you'll probably have seen most of it by the time we sit down. I'm probably going to come into it with pretty fresh eyes. Like I'll have done a little bit of it by the time we get there. But there's going to be, I bet you anything, there's going to be times where Josh is just like, wait, stop. We're going to go this way now.
Yeah.
I'm about halfway through World 5 right now, I think.
Are we going to 100% it, or are we just going to beat a bunch of levels?
I mean, I think we see how far we can get on one stream or whatever.
So when we do, I would love to 100% it with like you and one off stream or something like that, just for fun. But for the co-op stream, for the podcast, I say we start from square one and just see how far we can get.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking too.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm super for that. Dude, I love that there's tank levels in this too. It's just so
Dude,
Super Mario 3. It's super
many
fucking
things.
Mario 3. I love it.
Let's see. Is the game worth buying? It's like might as well be free. It's so much content. I'm not even kidding. There's so much content in this game. It's a must-have for the Switch. If you're a Mario fan in any way, then this is. I'm not even gonna lie. I think it's better than Odyssey in a lot of ways.
Like in a lot of ways, I agree.
The whole package with 3D World and Bowser's Fury. It adds something that Odyssey doesn't, and
I absolutely love Odyssey.
Yeah,
but I think you're right. And also, like, here's the thing about 3D Marios in general that I don't like, and I'm including Odyssey in this. Is that you like in my mind, Mario, I hit blocks and I get power ups and shit, right? None of that's in any of the 3D Mario games except for 3D World. It's like the old games where I can get, I can get a Tanuki suit. I can get like,
not only that, but it puts coins and like hard to get blocks in areas where if you get them and it'll trigger an event where coins will rain down, you get them and it'll just like clap and the audience will be like, ooh, and you'll be like, cool, I did something the game intended and it was difficult, but there was no reward. Like literally just the reward of feeling good about doing a cool game thing.
Right.
And so it definitely emphasized that a lot. And in Bowser's Fury, like you're saying, there was like real blocks everywhere, and it was just like Mario in a just spread out 3D open world vibe. Like even 64 like didn't have any any blocks to that degree or any like Super Mario feeling mechanics. This like really felt like it was all the Mario games mixed in. Like so good. You even have like the long jump and the dive and everything move wise that you really need at all. The only thing is I really like the side jump where you like run one direction, turn back and you jump but you do have that, but it's not like it is in Sunshine where it's like instantaneous.
Right.
But of course, whatever. Every game has its own mechanics, so I can't hate on it for that.
I noticed that mechanic is easier to do with Luigi because of his slide.
I think
have you noticed that?
Yeah. I have to go farther with Mario, I think, for sure.
Yeah.
Overall, worth buying. Overall rating, literally the only thing that is holding the game back from being a perfect 10, I feel like I should still give it a 10 too, is the fucking camera where like you press R and the camera's just behind you. So if I don't care about this and you learn to not care about this, trust me, I don't care about this. But if I'm being critical, I do care about it. But so if I do care about it, the game is a 9.9. If I don't give a shit about the stupid camera thing, then honestly, the game is a flawless 10. It is so fun. It is so good. 100% worth it. Bowser's Fury is incredible. The future of Mario, in my opinion. And 3D World is incredible. One of the best co-op experiences ever, especially best Mario experiences ever. And highly recommend it on all fronts, pretty much to anyone who either has friends, enjoys video games, or is a Mario fan.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just going to give it a perfect 10 with the note that the camera in Bowser's Fury may annoy you. And,
and maybe they'll patch that. Who knows?
Maybe
they'll get feedback on that.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. That was an excellent
it.
review. I'm really happy about it.
I
definitely one of those
wait
games that after I 100% in Bowser's Fury today, I'm like, wow, I'm kind of sad I have all the content. You know, it's like one of those games like when you finally beat Breath of the Wild. I was like, so sad I put like 160 hours into that game.
That was exhausting. Speaking of Breath of the Wild.
Oh no.
Let's get into our topic.
Again.
It's not going to be that bad, guys.
But you've already said it though.
Today, this is the topic. Today,
this very day,
is the 35th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda.
What's today?
Today is February 21st.
Wow, that's amazing. What a legendary day.
What a legendary day.
I mean, the earliest one I have down here is
ago. Wow.
35 years ago today.
I don't have Zelda 1, but I do have Zelda 2 down here.
Oof.
Nice.
Absolute trash. You know, only one game is more trash than that.
If you're going to say Breath of the Wild,
I'm just kidding.
You are, aren't you?
I don't think it's trash. I don't think it's a trash game. It is an incredibly hard game. And I think it's still more Zelda than Breath of the Wild.
Oh, you're saying Zelda 2.
Oh, I thought you were calling Zelda 2 trash. Yeah.
No. I actually like Zelda 2, but I think it's like
I'll just hold up this instead.
Different. Yeah, there you go. That's some goodness. That's the goodness. That to me, Link's Awakening, where they hit its stride and hit a power note, like this power chord in Zelda history, and then they did it again on the Switch when they remade it. That is how I feel about Bowser's Fury, kind of, where I was like, I can see the future of this genre reimagined in this game. Like when Link's Awakening got remade, I was like, this game was already a 10 for me, and now they just added basically the future of what Zelda could be in a top-down format. I'm not talking about 3D Zelda, I'm talking about for the top-down, and that's kind of how I feel about Bowser's Fury for 3D Mario games, which is crazy, but it's really only like the 5th 3D Mario game if you think about it. So
I agree.
Time for innovation.
Also, Link's Awakening kind of innovated a lot in Zelda. I feel like it doesn't get enough credit for that. But there's a lot of innovations that took place in that weren't even in the the Super Nintendo game that came out at the time.
I had that one on hand too.
That's some good.
And those carried over into basically all the Zeldas after that.
Yeah. I think it's because it's a little quirkier because of the graphical, like obviously it was half the capacity of the Super Nintendo, and the Super Nintendo already had some limitations graphically. So like they did a lot of cartoonier things or whatnot. I don't know. So to me, it was like the handheld Majora's Mask almost at the time, where it was more compact. You get the trading game. Obviously, it's not as dark, but there are some dark parts as well.
There's some really dark themes. I mean,
some really dark
spoiler alert. I mean, it's a fucking ancient game, so I'm not spoiling a lot. But
this game's
the whole island dies when you beat the game. Like
never existed.
All the characters.
The island never existed.
I know, but that's the thing. But you build relationships with these people. They become real. You become invested in their lives.
It's amazing.
You become friends with them. You even kind of fall in love with Marin, and then freaking everything's gone when you awake the Windfish.
Such a badass ending.
Oh my god! I just got goosebumps talking about it.
You're in a dream the whole time, I think.
Oh, that game's so good.
Oh, so you good. I love that game so much.
Except for the very beginning and the very end. You're in a dream.
Or is Link's whole existence a dream? I'm the hero of time.
Is our existence a dream? Maybe it is.
So here's the thing. Because it's the 35th anniversary, we're expecting a lot of Zelda this year.
Yeah. And
So
we've talked
far,
about
we've
that before.
gotten one announcement, and that was in the big direct this last week. Actually, we kind of got one and
there
a
were
half
two.
announcements.
Yeah, they're
Right.
1.5, I would say. Yeah.
Because a lot of people expected, which I actually called this, not trying to toot my own horn, that they weren't gonna talk about uh Breath 2 yet.
Right.
And that's the first thing they said. Hey, we're not talking
We're not
about
talking
Breath
about Breath
2,
2.
but we will later this year. And I've got even more theories on that we can get into in a little bit. But what they
Is
did
the theory
announce,
that it's not going to come out this year at all.
yes,
that-
actually,
I'd be
I
okay
don't
with
think it's
it.
gonna come out. I think
I
they're
don't
gonna
think it's gonna
do
come out
kind
this
of what
year.
they did with 3D World, but they're gonna release it next year, and they're gonna release it with a Switch revision.
I mean, if you think about it, 3D World came out in the year after the year of Mario, right?
Right.
Right.
So it kind of makes sense that there'd be a small delay on
Mhm.
the bigger and that
And-
felt like the big Mario game of the quote unquote year.
Exactly.
So,
And I honestly think it would have come out this year. I think it would have come out right now if it wasn't for, this whole global situation we've been dealing with.
I think we
But,
would have got 3D World. Yeah, we would have had
Mhm.
everything moved back a few months and gotten Paper Mario in the March slot, and then gotten 3D World.
What they
anyway.
did announce, which is something that leaked and we reported on, a few months ago, is Skyward Sword HD. And
Yes,
once again, not trying to toot my own horn, but
we all called
We
this.
need to get you like a bike horn. Just
no, okay, time out. We we all called that it was coming out. We did not all call what they were going to do to compensate for the controls.
Right.
And they're doing exactly what I said. Number one, they revised the motion controls to work with the
Joy-Cons,
Joy-Cons. And then number two, they're using the right stick for, handheld play to be able to control the sword without, having to use motion
which
controls.
I think is beautiful.
Talk amongst
I
yourselves
so
for
happy.
just a moment. I need to talk to my wife for one
I
second.
think that the C stick being used as the directional pad for the sword is such a genius way to solve that. I can't even believe it. And then I assume there's like arrows and stuff, which will just be gyroscopic, like they do with the star bits in Galaxy. You just press a button and you see the dot right at the tip of the controller point on the TV, and then you just use that for bow and arrow, and then everything else is
Well,
just
and the motion controls
Just
in
insane.
even though they don't have the sensor bar, the motion controls in the Joy-Cons are so much more advanced than what we had with the Wii and the Wii U, that I think they're going to be able to pull that off really smoothly. Yeah.
I will say I want to play it both ways though. So I think maybe if you can change it in and out during the gameplay, I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't be able to. Then that would be amazing. So you can kind of try it out, because I can't imagine it's any harder basically I can only imagine it's way easier with the frickin' C stick instead of flailing your arms in the air at all. That being said, I loved flailing my arms in the air, and I thought it was honestly so exhilarating, and especially when you're taking down Demise, spoiler alert, at the end, and you literally just like everything in you, and you're like, just like driving your hands into the ground. Like it's so sick. And Girahim fights and everything. Girahim, their first boss ever, it's just like so fucking hard because
hard.
The Wiimote,
Dude, I broke my nunchuck playing it because the cord is pretty short, and so I broke my nunchuck playing him the first time a few months ago, and I had to order new nunchucks, and the ones that I got have a little longer cord on them. Which thank God, because I probably would have broken more nunchucks. But yeah,
you should make that your death counter. How many nunchucks you break.
How many nunchucks I break?
You're gonna destroy your whole thing, and by the end of this game,
I really want to finish not Breath. I really want to finish Skyward Sword on the Wii U before the remake comes
on the
out.
Wii, right?
Well, it's on the Wii, but I'm playing it on a Wii U. Yeah.
I forgot about that.
But because I want to compare the controls. Like that's the main thing I want to compare. Like, and I want it to be fresh, right? So I want to jump off of Skyward Sword on the Wii and just dive right into it on the Switch and see how it feels.
You're gonna be like, I don't want to ever play The Imprisoned again, or you're gonna.
I mean,
some of it you're gonna be like, do I really want to do this again?
I don't know. I love Zelda games, man.
You're gonna love it. Yeah.
I think I'll enjoy it, and I'm really enjoying my playthrough of Skyward Sword right now. So, It feels nice to play a Zelda game that feels like a Zelda game.
I
I know
know, and this was the last one.
it really was. Yeah, it was the last Zelda game
They
in
even
the
talk about that in the direct,
They
right?
did. They
Yeah,
did
they
mention
did.
that in the direct. And I was
Mhm.
like, "Hey, let's go back to
Go
that.
back
Let's
to
just,
that.
let's
They're
just
like the
do."
last one to use the old style of Zelda conventions, and I was like, are they like saying it's obsolete? Are they
I
saying
hope
this isn't what
not.
they want anymore?
Oof.
Like, if that's the case, we're getting Breath One Part Two basically is what's coming up. If that's the case, and they haven't changed their mind at all and shown
I
that
mean, I
people
kind of
want the
expect
old
it to be
style.
that way
I
anyway.
Yeah.
know, I do too, and it's sad.
Yeah.
Like, so Skyward Sword came out, Twilight Princess did also, during the chunk of time when I wasn't playing games.
Oh,
So I'm kind of like, I'm in an opposite boat of Paul. I'm not going to play it on a Wii or a Wii U. I'm just going to dive right on a Switch.
yeah, you might as well.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I guess I do have access to a Wii, but I don't want to rig that up.
Some of
when I
these
have my
games I
Switch.
feel like are better when it first came. Like Twilight Princess, when it first came out, I was like, this game handles so well, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Everything's perfect, graphics, whatever. But literally aging just a little, like 10 years down the road, even, I'm like, this game did not age as well as I thought
Right.
it did. And
Yeah.
Skyward Sword, I want the controls to be, because I freshly played it like a year ago, and the controls were annoying to me at some parts. And I have a really nice Wiimote and all the sensors, but I'm hoping if it's any better in motion, and if not, I'll be able to play with a controller, which
Yeah.
would be a godsend. So
Yeah.
That's going to be
I'm happy either way. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
So similarly to what we had with the Mario anniversary last year, I think we're getting more Zelda. There's been rumors, there's leaks, supposed leaks that have come out. I really think we're going to get.
If we don't get a package, it's like a huge missed opportunity. They need
I
this
mean, there's speculation.
trio package. Yeah,
No.
speculate, and they're at least going to swap something together. Just
It would be
because
so easy for them to port over the 2 HD remakes that they did on the Wii U. It would be so
Yeah.
easy for them to do that. And I think they will. Now if they do that as a combined pack, I don't know. They might release them as standalones. I think that'd be a huge mistake, but I think in their minds they'd make more money that way. I don't think they could charge full price for those games. They will charge full price for Skyward Sword HD. That is forgivable to me because it's the first time it's been remastered. But Wind Waker and Twilight Princess have
can't do
already
that.
been remastered in HD, and it would literally just be a port. So charging full price for those, I think, would be a little bit ridiculous.
Okay, guys. You guys have gone on tangents.
Who is this voice?
What is this?
It's our
What?
it's our disembodied head producer Chamali.
Oh my god!
Hey, yeah. Thanks for doing this amazing podcast for me. It's you've been doing a great job. Yeah. This podcast, you're doing a great job on my podcast. I really appreciate it.
Okay,
You're doing
I call you the Bill Lawrence of the video podcasting world. You're not that good, sir.
No, I'm not. But
You're welcome.
In all seriousness, you guys have to come back on topic here. We're not just talking Zelda. We need to go into some other thing. Speaking, did you see the Project Triangle strategy on this direct?
Oh, what?
Yeah, so that was
about
another
that?
game
Thing
announced on the
nobody cares
direct.
about?
Isn't that no, a lot of people care about it. It's from the same people who made Octopath Traveler, which a lot of people really love.
So I ended up playing that demo. I beat the demo on one of the choices, quote unquote, that you can do. But it's kind of like in the vein of the old Tactics Ogre games or the Final Fantasy Tactics games. And you just sit there and it's a straight up tactic game. It's real cool. And then like you can go into like choices and stuff like that, and they'll let you run around like the town to like get all these information, talk to like NPCs and stuff like that. So it's a little bit of a mix between a standard RPG and a tactics.
So kind of like Shining Force.
Okay.
Oh, neat. That's okay. You sold when you mentioned Final Fantasy Tactics. Like I'm sold.
Yeah, well, I love Final Fantasy Tactics. I love Ogre Battle Tactics. I love Onimusha Tactics. I'm really into those games. What I don't like about most of those games, though, and this is because I was such a huge Shining Force fan, is you just go from battle to battle, and there's text dialogue in between, but there's no running around in towns, exploring a world map, which is what you did have in Shining Force, and that is something that I really love. So are you saying that's in this new?
To an extent, it's not as like you can just go off willy-nilly whenever you want into a town. So you have a world map, and much like the Final Fantasy Tactics, you choose like, okay, I'm going to go to this level, and then it'll go into like a cutscene, and it'll tell you like stories. All the side stories are things that don't happen to your main characters at all. So they're not like battles or anything in this demo. You go there and it's like, oh, what's happening over in this part of the world right now? And they're plotting against you. This game seems like Game of Thrones almost. Like there's a lot of like people plotting over here and people are plotting over there, and they're trying to figure out how to screw you guys over. And so then you with your ragtag band of your house,
like Josh.
Yeah, Josh blew himself.
Oh wow.
You're like a semi-major house of one kingdom, and there's 3 kingdoms going on fighting. But in a couple of the battles, you can.
Josh is having too much fun.
So you're saying that
Jamali.
it's really, really like plot heavy, like they're getting like into the drama and the politics of what's going on in that world.
Yeah. So the demo's a few hours long, and you get 2 to 3 battles out of it.
Wow. So it's that plot heavy.
Yeah.
How long does each battle take?
It depends how. They said they upped the difficulty of the battles, so you can try like different things out in the battles, but maybe like a half hour to 45 minutes, like a standard tactics battle sometimes.
Very interesting. Well, this was a nice little tangent you brought us on, Jamal.
Oh, yeah. Back to my original thing. Get back on topic, guys.
Yeah, we don't talk about Zelda
I thought our
anymore.
topic was this.
Well, really, the
That's about
topic
Zelda.
is
That's
the
what we do,
Nintendo
right?
Direct. Yeah.
Okay.
There
Did
were
we talk
some
about
other.
Yeah,
what
let's
was
talk about some of the other guys.
There was some other cool stuff that they announced in the Direct,
Mario
other
Golf,
than
that's
the Zelda stuff. It looks like Nintendo's bringing Mii's back, right?
Yeah, I don't know if they really
Cool.
like decimated Mii's because they've been in Smash Bros,
Mhm.
but
Right.
they definitely stopped Mii's being like the way you get around. But remember the Miiverse, everyone? Remember the Miiverse on the Wii U?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So for
Yeah.
those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, you guys do, but the Miiverse was basically like an online network for like everything in games. And you could even like snapshot secrets and like talk about whatever. Basically, it was like Facebook for the games you were playing, but it was like so much more friendly and like really, really nice. And what's the word I'm looking for? Not shitty like Facebook is.
Friendly?
You mean it
Friendly.
wasn't like your
About games, so it's just
boomer
literally-
relatives posting
exactly,
like political shit up
Yeah.
there?
like your feeds are just like little clips of people playing, and you're like, oh, that's
Nice.
fun.
Mhm.
So
That's
it's
cool.
really nice. It was a really nice community thing, and they killed it. And yeah, that was kind of the last time we really saw Mii's take over. And then on the Switch, it's not really been really a thing, except unless you play Smash or whatever.
Mhm.
Right.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
and you also, I mean, we have the Friends channel. Like, why not
Really?
just expand? Yeah. Well, I mean, the little panel, right? There's not
yeah.
much there. It just shows who's on. But like, you could integrate Mii's with. I mean, my profile picture is my Mii that I've had since the Wii came out.
Yeah. So 2 games they announced that incorporate the Mii's heavily, it seems, are the new Mario Golf game, and also Miitopia, which seems like almost like a mix between a Mii version of The
Mario Kart,
Sims and an
Oh my
RPG,
God.
like a turn-based RPG.
What?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Looks weird.
Yeah, but cool in a weird way.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
that's hysterical.
Wait,
That's
it's a
terrible.
turn-based RPG? What
Yeah,
the
turn
fuck?
like a old Final Fantasy, but I
That
don't
doesn't
know.
make
It
any
looks
sense
weird.
to
Like,
me.
watch the trailer. It's like you're like putting makeup on your Mii, and then you're in like
Oh.
a fucking Final Fantasy battle, and like a lot of like side
Okay, now I'm
scrolling. I
like,
don't know. It
ugh,
looks
that's
really
very
weird.
odd. Well, do you
Looks very
remember on 3DS they had the Mii channel that had like little mini games and stuff? Those were
Mhm.
fun.
Yeah, those
Like
are
Well,
the-
they
the one where
also
you're
had
trapped in a cage.
What
Those
was
are
the
fun.
game that Colin was talking about that he was really excited about? Nintendo
It was like a party game.
Land?
Yeah, Nintendo Land for the Wii U.
Yeah, and it had like mini games from all the big franchises. I actually watched the trailer before the uh the podcast because he had been talking about it. And it
Mhm.
had like mini games from Zelda and from Metroid and from Pikmin and like all their big franchises. Um
Cool.
you know, and it looked really cool. So like you know, for them to start doing stuff like that again, I think is rad. I would like
Mhm.
them to do something more like Nintendo Land.
Yeah.
But it's neat that they're, you know, incorporating your, you know, Nintendo avatars more into games again, I think.
Yeah.
Um
I mean, when the Wii first came out, like how many hours did my roommates and I log just making? We made Dr. Zoidberg from
Oh, yeah.
Futurama as a
dude,
me.
my brother used to do that too. He used to make
Yeah.
all sorts of different characters.
Yeah.
Like,
We had most of the cast of DBZ at one
yeah.
point.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
hours on the Wii. I don't even know how I found that much time.
Right.
A couple other highlights from the Nintendo Direct this week. We had Samurai Warriors 5
Mhm.
remaster. I'm actually excited about that.
Yeah.
The reason for that, number one, it's another game that's cannon fodder for Samurai Saturdays.
Samurai Saturday. Yeah.
Which is, you know, what I do on Saturdays, all my streams. Real fun. Everyone should come watch. But
yeah.
also, you know, after playing Hyrule Warriors, the new one, I'm really curious to see what the more traditional warrior games are doing to evolve the game. You
Mhm.
know, so I'm pretty excited to check that out and see like how far the series has come. The last time I played like a traditional Warriors game was back way back in the day, with like Samurai Warriors 1 and 2, and
Mhm.
I think maybe Dynasty Warriors 4 was the latest
Yep.
one that was out at that time, and that was, I mean, like when I was like 18 or 19.
Right.
So it's been a while since I played a mainline Warriors game, so I'm excited to see kind of if it's evolved, how it's evolved, um, and you know what they're gonna bring to the table with that. Legend of Mana, which is the mana, it's kind of the black sheep of the Mana family, I want to say.
Mhm.
It
Cool.
originally released on the PlayStation 1. Um, and I honestly don't know much about it other than it seems to be kind of like a world building game. Chamali kind of gave me a rundown of what it was earlier when we were doing the pre-show, but it's interesting. I'm a huge fan of the Mana series. All three of like the mainline games, which would be Final Fantasy Adventure, Secret of Mana, and Trials of Mana in English.
Right.
And yeah, those are just really great games. So I'm interested. I don't know if I'll play it because it's not a traditional Mana game. But it's cool that they're bringing that to the Switch. Who knows? I might still do it.
Yeah, I want to see the trailer first.
Chamali compared it to Disgaea in a way, and I haven't played those games either. But if you're a fan of those, you might like that. And then the final thing that I thought was of note, okay, just the crafting system is like Disgaea. I apologize. The final thing that I'm excited about that they announced during the direct, which there's still plenty of stuff in the direct that's, you know, that might excite you. I'd say definitely watch it. It's the first full length direct Nintendo's done in over a year. So Ninja Gaiden trilogy, and the reason I'm excited about that is because I've been playing the Neo games and I'm absolutely in love with them. But the one thing that I feel like I'm missing is being able to play them handheld, like on the Switch,
Mhm.
right? And those games aren't ever coming to the Switch.
Right.
But Team Ninja made those games, and the battle system, like the battle mechanics, are very similar in the 3D Ninja Gaiden games
Mhm.
to the Neo games. So even though it's not in the same setting, even though it's, you know, not got the cool RPG systems that Neo has, I think that those will be a fun way to kind of get that fix, you know, when I'm not sitting down at the computer, you know.
Mhm.
And you know, I'm excited about that. Did you guys see anything else in the direct that you were excited about, or?
I think Mario Golf looked neat.
Yeah, I did too. I don't like or play golf or anything like that. I was just like, oh, this is kind of neat. Like
Mario Golf games have always been pretty fun.
Mario Golf when they first came out.
We haven't had one since Toadstool Tour, if I'm not mistaken.
Didn't you play one on stream like last year?
Tour, yeah.
Okay.
In 2020, yeah. It was but I did like a bunch of sports games for Mario, and But yeah, so that was GameCube and then Wii U. So we skipped 2 generations. And so I love Toadstool Tour a lot. There's something about it. I just don't know if I need another one. Like that's kind of how I feel about Mario Aces. I really loved the GameCube Mario Tennis, and then the one for the Switch. I'm just like, it's good. It's just like another one though. I'm like, okay, it's not the same as Mario Kart or anything like that.
Right. As fun as the Mario sports games are, I still greatly prefer the kind of more substantial Mario games, whether it's the Mario RPG stuff or the mainline Mario games or even Mario Kart, which there's a leak, there's a rumor of Mario Kart 9 coming down the pipes, and I think that's going to be another Switch Pro launch game allegedly. So
double dash mode, please.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
We've talked about it before. Like I want that so bad. I miss double dash so much.
They usually drop 1 Mario Kart per generation, which is why we've gotten up to 9. So
yeah.
Well, and you know what? They haven't dropped a Mario Kart this generation. I mean, we have
on the 3DS though got it went 7 and then 8 was on the Wii U.
And we got 8 remastered or whatever for the Switch Deluxe, which is great. That game's awesome, but it's not a new game.
I feel like it may annoy people to put another Mario Kart out. It's like kind of like putting another Animal Crossing out on the same console. It'd just be like, well, why don't they just give us massive DLC? Like, why don't they just give us an overhaul that turns 8 into 9? Wouldn't that be sick?
Maybe. I don't know. I think as much as I like 8, I would be totally fine with, as long as they did enough to innovate, or at least bring back systems like the Double Dash system or something like that make it worth, buying a new Mario Kart game. I'd be totally okay with it. Yeah.
So amusingly enough, the main selling point for my sister to buy her family a Switch was Mario Kart, because they had it on Wii and then their Wii died. And I was like,
anyway.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a 9 coming out, and I don't want to say anything, but it's out there now. I've said it.
Yeah, we'll see. As of now, that's totally unconfirmed. But
I can see that being another year, because last year is when we got Mario Kart Deluxe, I think.
Yeah,
it was the year before.
Yeah. So we can finish up with this.
Colin's
Since
gonna say if we mentioned the Dinosaur Planet leak.
That's what I was gonna mention. So, and I wasn't gonna bring it up because typically we've moved away from news on this podcast. But this was kind of a news heavy, topic. So I think, and we're at the end of the stream. I think it's worth mentioning. Dinosaur Planet, right? Or Dinosaur Adventures, Dinosaur Island. What is it?
Currently, it was originally going to be Dinosaur Planet, and it then became the new game. It became was Star Fox Adventures. But take it away, Paul.
I mean, you know more about it than I do, honestly. The full game, the full original game leaked. Am I right?
Yeah. So basically, I think Colin said it was a mod still, so you would have to play it on an N64 mod. But basically, it was supposed to be a GameCube game, just with
I thought it was
2
supposed to be
random
64.
Well, that's the thing. Oh, I guess it was mapped for the N64, and then I thought they projected it for the GameCube. Honestly, I don't remember. But then maybe it just ended up coming out on the GameCube Star Fox Adventures, and they stole the Dinosaur Planet thing. But the game actually got made, I guess. I don't know if it's the real, like if it's a full-length game or if it's a prototype or if it even has cinema scenes or any of that stuff. But the game is now being played basically on mods on N64 shit online.
I think ROMs. I think it's not a mod. It's the original like build of the game.
That's what I meant.
Or 64.
So I want to play that. Yeah, I don't know if it's any different though. It's just like bare bones, shitty looking poo poo version of Dinosaur Planet.
Really?
Might be really bad and just like
See, I'm
doesn't work.
surprised, honestly, because you are Captain, N64 platformers.
Yeah.
Especially rare era platformers.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
You
true.
know?
That's what it is, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
That is what it is.
I do need to, but it's not.
Get on that, Josh.
It's an adventure game, though. That's what it's like. I don't know how it'll treat me, but it's worth checking out. Just if it's too similar to Star Fox Adventures, to me, I'm gonna be like,
I'd rather just play Star Fox Adventures.
Play Star Fox Adventures. I don't know how put together it is exactly. Like it might be a polished N64 finish of it, or it might be just like stripped down to like polygons and shit.
I can't possibly believe that it's a finished game.
No,
right?
I can't either. It doesn't make any sense.
That's why I'm not like, oh, the whole game in its entirety. It's like, it's probably not even voice acting or anything. There's probably not even polygons. Like, it's maybe just horrible looking.
Colin says it's mostly finished. It's voice acted.
It is voice acted?
My God. My God. All right, Josh has to play it now.
Yeah, all right, download it for us, Colin.
It'd be foolish not to. Colin already has it, and he's already played it.
What?
I know this because I posted about it in the Discord this week, and he's like, way ahead of you, idiot. I already got it. And I was like, man, I'm sorry.
That's what he does.
Don't be mad.
Right?
It's not a competition, bro.
I'm still cranky that there wasn't any Metroid talk on the direct.
I can't believe no Metroid. They're really either going to crank out the directs or there isn't as much as we think.
So two things about that. Number one, I don't think they're willing to say anything more about Prime 4 until they've got something really, really polished to show.
Right. Yeah.
So, that could be tomorrow or it could be in 2 years. We don't know at this point.
Right.
The last I heard is the planned release is 2023 for that game. So
I'm willing to wait. Like that's fine. I have no problem.
And I don't know if that's true. It's not a confirmed Nintendo thing, but that's kind of like where people think it's going to be. That's like the leaked, information. As for any other, anniversary stuff, we'll see. But again, because of all this, global bananas bullshit that we've been dealing with,
global banana pants.
I really think that they're playing everything close to the chest. So if they are going to do something this year with that, they're gonna do like what they did with Mario, whatchamacallit, Paper Mario last year, where it's like, hey, in 2 weeks we're dropping this 2D Metroid game or whatever, or we're dropping this Metroid collection, or whatever that is.
We're probably gonna get the 2D Metroid, and it's gonna be like a rash drop, like you're saying, like a 1 month in advance. So and then I don't think we're gonna get 4. We might not even get a video of 4 this year.
Yeah. What has me thinking that they are going to do something was that those leaked prototype Legos that we saw for Metroid.
Yes.
So that's almost like 100% confirmation that they're not. They didn't forget about Metroid, right? And they're planning something. They've already got product in the works for it. So, but we're just gonna have to wait to hear about that.
I want is Donkey Kong. What the fuck? When's that?
I know, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Donkey Kong, whatever, 10.
On the Lego set though, if that actually comes out, when that actually comes out, I am buying all of that.
It looks awesome.
Hanging the expense, those Metroid Legos look
gonna be
dope.
hanging the expense. Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, they look really cool. All right, guys. Do you guys have any closing thoughts for tonight?
We did it.
We did it. We've got Josh back. This was really fun. Really nice to have you back, my guy.
Thanks,
I'm glad the move went well.
Yeah.
The
new digs look great.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Walls and everything.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, let's just get some soundproofing in there and we'll be.
Yeah.
You want a green screen? You know?
Green screen would be nice. Yeah.
I mean, you don't need a green screen, but just something to kind of. It does help with sound dampening for sure. But yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks again for joining us this week. Let's see. Let's get this information in here. Boop, 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 boop.
Right.
Boom. If you're watching the show right now live, you're on my channel on Twitch, Ryugami-san. I do video games on Tuesdays and Wednesday nights. I play random stuff. Right now, everything's Samurai because I'm trying to finish Neo 2, but actually I think this week I'll probably mix it up and play some other games. I always play a Samurai game on Samurai Saturdays, though I will say I might not be here next week on Saturday because I might be camping. That all really depends on what goes on with my car situation, but that's a story for another time. And then obviously the podcast here on Sunday nights. If you're watching this on YouTube, please share it. You can leave comments and likes. We'll respond and interact with you. But really, we just want to get the word out. We want to share this with everyone. So if you enjoy it, please share it. What else? Doop, beep, beep, boop, boop. Twitter. If you want to yell at me on Twitter about things, I'm at Ryugami-sama. And that's where you can find me. Josh, where can we find you, my guy?
You can maybe find me at Lord Yeshua and Lord Yeshua TTV on all my socials. I am a ghost.
We got to get you streaming again, man. We got Zelda.
We got to get you in chats. We got to get you streaming the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
We got things happening and we need to do them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Making moves.
Mm-hmm. And Zach, where can we find you, my dude?
I'm on Twitch at Another Letdown. I'll be live. I'm normally live Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Thursdays for video games, Fridays for tabletop simulator board games, and Saturdays for miniatures painting. However, this week I've got a special event on my channel. Adam, former co-host, and regular guest on This Is Difficult, and I are going to be doing 30XX around somewhere in the 10 o'clock Eastern hour on Wednesday night. And we are so excited. We've both been practicing a lot and getting our asses handed to us, but that's fine. So expect a lot of deaths and a lot of yelling at each other. It's going to be great. So yeah. And then I'm on Twitter at DENONCZD.
And then we should plan a Mario thing, but we'll get to it.
Yes, we will.
Yeah, we are going to
do
yeah, so that's upcoming. We need to figure out when we're going to do that. We're going to play as much as we can of Mario 3D Land with the podcast crew. And then if you want to just like chat with us and hang out, post clips, talk about video games, hit up our Discord and the link is in the chat. So that's, I think, all we got. Thank you guys again for joining us tonight, and we will see you next week. Everyone have an awesome evening. You're amazing.
Goodbye.
Bye.